This is Mac OS Ken.
Apple's going to have to pay more for chips, talk of a new Apple upgrade program, and Hide My Email is actually hiding email addresses. Will wonders never cease? It is Wednesday, the 22nd of July, 2026. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Copilot Money. Your money beautifully organized. Get 2 months free with code MacOSKen at copilot.money/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Ragnarok's not done with Apple. Apple Insider ran a piece Tuesday that had the Cupertino company's chip supplier, TSMC, raising its prices at the start of next year. Citing a Nikkei Asia report, the piece says TSMC will be increasing the base price for its chips from between 5% and 10%. That's 5 to 10% provided that the buyer isn't doing awesome. Apple Insider says companies needing to place orders for more chips than they originally forecast at TSMC face an extra premium of between 10% and 15%. That means a TSMC customer faces possibly paying up to 25% more for chips if they make a mistake on their estimates compared to current prices. Sounds like price gouging, but is not, according to the chip maker. A TSMC spokesperson tells Nikkei that the increases are strategic, not opportunistic, and that it will keep working with clients and sell TSMC's value to them. Meanwhile, the piece says chip prices are going up due to the cost of equipment, materials to make the chips, and for facilities expansion. For its part, Apple Insider thinks increases charged to Apple will be closer to 5% than 10%. The piece says the base price increase will vary on a number of factors, including the customer. Apple Insider figures Apple will be charged at the lower end as a long-term and major client of the chip maker. The Apple news that took the newsfeed by storm on Tuesday was less news than rumor, but it came from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, so probably. TechCrunch highlighted Gurman's piece, which has Apple partnering with Buy Now, Pay Later peeps Klarna on a service that'll let people subscribe to devices. Referred to as Apple Upgrade, TechCrunch says the program will apparently let customers pay for their purchases over multi-year periods, including iPhones, iPads, Macs, and Apple Watches. Leases for iPhone and Apple Watch will be for up to 24 months, according to Gurman, while Macs and iPads will have leases for up to 36 months. TechCrunch says the devices can either be kept or returned at... Do you say either? Either? The devices can either be kept or returned at the end of the leasing period, while upgrades to new devices will also be available, hence the name of the program. The report notes vaguely that in some cases, transactions will incur an additional fee. Apple Upgrade could launch as soon as next week, according to Bloomberg. If you're thinking this sounds a lot like Apple's iPhone upgrade program, you are not wrong. In fact, they're so similar, the new one will apparently replace the old. A piece from Apple Insider says reporting indicates that Apple Upgrade will effectively replace other existing installment plans on Apple's hardware payments roster, including the iPhone Upgrade program. For people already on the iPhone Upgrade program, no immediate worries. Folks on it can stay on it for the duration of their arrangements, according to Apple Insider. Once Apple Upgrade starts, that'll be the only Apple option, with the iPhone Upgrade program closed to new customers. Now, there seems to be one pretty big upside to the news for the Cupertino company, tied specifically to its partner. Apple Insider points out that the iPhone Upgrade program has different lending partners in different countries. Here in the States, for example, Citizens One handles the financing. In the UK, it's Barclays, and the list goes on. While Klarna is not everywhere, it is a lot of places. Apple Insider says Klarna operates in 26 countries, including Canada, the US, the UK, several countries in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. When Apple inevitably expands the program into other territories, the piece says the existing connection with Klarna should make the rollout smoother. As for benefits for consumers, being able to spread payments out versus lump summing it is a notch. Additionally, expanding upgrades beyond iPhone sounds pretty cool, but it's not all sunshine and lollipops. Looks like Apple Upgrade will leave out at least some entry-level devices. A piece from 9to5Mac has Gurman indicating that certain stuff won't be available through Apple Upgrade, including Apple Watch SE, entry-level iPad, iPhone 16, and MacBook Neo. Well, that feels kind of wrong. Another downside has to do with not owning a thing until you own it. Another piece from 9to5Mac had that site digging through code in Apple's latest betas. What they found was a sort of inhibitor caller on iOS 27. According to the report, 9to5Mac can now confirm that code found in the iOS 27 beta appears to reveal a broader system for managing a financed iPhone, including the ability to restrict apps and services when payments are missed. A system called App Managed Features seems to let the finance partner enroll an iPhone and perform ongoing status checks. If the relationship goes sideways, the site says Apple System Services can place the iPhone in restricted mode, which blocks access to most apps until the payment or contact issue is resolved, while keeping a small set of apps available. Accessibility Reader, App Store, Health, Magnifier, Phone, Clock, Settings, Wallet, Passwords, and the restricted mode itself all keep working, according to the site. The report goes on to say apps that can send critical alerts, such as Messages, Home, and certain medication or safety apps, may also remain accessible. However, the provider appears to have some control over those exceptions. Grosser than gross, 9to5Mac says the code does not appear to cancel, suspend, or otherwise modify App Store subscriptions associated with blocked applications. In other words, users could or would still be charged for an app that they can't use for however long it takes to get full service restored. Is that wrong? I don't know. Really feels icky though, doesn't it? Worth noting, as 9to5Mac does, their reading info in a beta build could change any number of ways between now and the release of iOS 27. Then again, it may not. Remember earlier when I said Apple Upgrade could launch as soon as next week? 9to5Mac has also had a poke through code in the iOS 26.6 release candidate seeded earlier this week. They have found no lender-controlled restricted mode in that. The way the site sees it, that likely means Apple will either add necessary code to the final iOS 26.6 release or launch Apple Upgrade at a later date. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Copilot Money. Your money beautifully organized. Payments that are set it and forget it are both a blessing and a curse. The blessing, no more forgetting to pay that phone bill or electric. The curse, it's easy to lose track of how many recurring payments we have. Not with Copilot Money. Copilot Money gives you one place to look for automatic payments across all of your cards and accounts. It gathers your financial information in a way that's easy to access and always up to date. Easy for you to access. Built with privacy in mind, Copilot Money has no ads, no upsells, and will not sell your information. subscriptions, savings, deposits, investments. Copilot Money puts it all in a great interface on the web, as well as beautiful apps for Mac, iPhone, and iPad, all synced all the time. Right now you can get 2 months free with code MacOSKen at copilot.money/MacOSKen. Featured by Apple as an app we love and a must-have finance app, you can try it free for 2 months with offer code MacOSKen at copilot.money/MacOSKen. Copilot Money. Your money beautifully organized. Try 2 months free with offer code MacOSKen at copilot.money/MacOSKen. Hey, remember that Hide My Email issue? The one that stopped Hide My Email from actually hiding email? It's been dealt with. As a reminder, a piece from 404 Media earlier this month said a vulnerability in Apple's Hide My Email tool lets almost anyone discover a person's real email address that is supposed to be hidden by the feature, and Apple has failed to fix it for more than a year, according to a security researcher and 404 Media's own tests. Make all of that past tense now. A piece from Mac Rumors has Apple saying, and 404 Media confirming, that the issue has been addressed. With the issue handled, 404 is now happy to say what was happening. According to Mac Rumors, sending a targeted Hide My Email user a message that got rejected as spam caused the person's real email address to appear in email logs. Cool that that's not broken anymore, though there's not a lot to be done about the time that it was broken. The folks who found the vulnerability indicate that email logs that predate the fix could still expose user email addresses. According to the researchers, because mail transfer logs are often retained, we'd assume that any hidden email addresses linked to a Hide My Email address created before the 7th of July may have been exposed and could still be in third-party logs. Looks like Apple will have to pay Masimo a little over $500 million. Then again, you never really know until the check's written, now do ya? This one goes back a few years. In early 2020, says a piece from 9to5Mac, medical technology company Masimo sued Apple, accusing it of stealing trade secrets and infringing patents related to pulse oximetry and other optical health monitoring technologies used by Apple Watch. Is that ringing any bells? Masimo got the FTC to ban the import of Apple Watches in late 2023. Apple changed the software to disable blood oxygen readings, then changed it again to do blood oxygen readings in a way Apple said didn't violate the patent. Back and forth until Masimo won a case based on Apple Watch being a patient monitor. Despite doing the whole blood oxygen thing, and the pulse thing, and the period tracking thing, among other things, Apple argued that its watch is not a patient monitor. The judge disagreed with Apple's request to overturn the patent verdict and secure a new trial, denied. That leaves Apple on the hook for $634 million in damages, according to 9to5Mac. And finally today, Apple TV's dropped a trailer for an upcoming series. The second season of the Spanish-language crime drama Women in Blue, or Los Azules, hits in about 3 weeks. If memory serves, Season 1 was about Mexico's first all-female police unit. They came together to fight crime, only to find out that they were put together for publicity. I assume they ended up fighting crime anyway. I haven't watched the show. According to Apple's press release promoting the new season, Women in Blue Season 2 will follow Maria, now promoted to lieutenant, as she finds herself torn between the rules she's sworn to uphold and a relentless pull toward the truth when the body of a student activist is discovered and the Azules are pulled into an investigation that reaches back to the student massacre of 1968. Season 1 of Women in Blue is available to stream now on Apple TV. The second season starts its run on Wednesday, the 12th of August. You can see the Season 2 trailer on YouTube. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Copilot Money. Get 2 months free with code macOSKen at copilot.money/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSKen at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macosken.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Leonard likes this post.